Voracious, devouring. We had omnivorous the other day, I know, devouring everything. Voracious, a voracious reader devours whatever he or she can. A voracious eater, of course, devouring. Vulgar, important word. Common, but that is typical of how a dictionary often will not help a student. That is, the student reads vulgar, common, especially a cheap, small dictionary with only one or two words. And so, yes, let's say, what is common? It's common to, I don't know, drink Pepsi-Cola. Is it vulgar to drink Pepsi-Cola? No. Vulgar means common in a not very admirable sense. Of the common people. In other words, educated people don't say or do this. His language was vulgar. His behavior was vulgar. Lacking refinement. Lacking courtesy even. Vulgarity. His vulgarity was shocking. Wade. To wade in the water is to stand in the water, not swim. He waded up to his waist in the East Sea, as we call it. Warp. Well, all the kids know about time warps and all that. The main thing that's warped is wood. Wood, if left untreated, will bend and curve. He has a warped sense of humor, means he is amused by some things that other people are not amused by, a little strange, perhaps a little morbid. Warrant. Although the Korean currency is falling, this does not warrant a panic. That is, the fall is not so severe. Warrant means justify. Wavy hair, especially women get perms in order to have wavy hair, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Wavy hair anyway. Welder. A welder is a person who welds. A person who welds joins two metallic objects, melts some solder, I think it's called S-O-L-D-E-R, and the solder then links the two pieces of metal. Wharf is a place on the seaside where boats, yachts, and boats can dock. That's the wharf that juts out into the sea. Stakes piers down into the water, hold it there. Whimsy, related to whimsical. Whimsy, I think it's a noun. I've never used it. I don't think I would. Related to whim and whimsical. To whine, children whine when they are told no. Adults too sometimes. As we say, the N-word, meaning the terrible no word. Oh, come on, can't I do this, can't I do that? Whine. After that comes the pout with the scowl. And the sullenness, to use words that we used yesterday. Whirl is to turn around rapidly. The whirling dervishes, an order of Muslims, Sufis, in Turkey especially, but elsewhere too, a wonderful display of religious intensity. Apparently religious intensity, but I believe it. To whirl is to turn around. He whirled around when he heard his name. Turned around quickly. Wily, crafty, cunning. The fox is wily, hard to trick. Withstand, to resist. He couldn't withstand the pressure put upon him to do something, to resist. Wrath, the real name for one of the 7 deadly sins. We must be up to 4 by now, at least. Sometimes substituted by anger, but wrath. Wrath is extreme anger, a pathological anger. The wrath of Achilles is the subject of the Iliad, anger, or better, wrath. Wreckage, the wreckage of the plane. The experts came and sifted through the wreckage to find whatever they could. Dead bodies, or valuables, or anything that survived. Yield, noun, is most important, I think. He never yielded to the pressure. He withstood the pressure. To yield to something. It can, like most verbs, as you know, VT, VI, huge percentage of American English verbs especially, have both a transitive and intransitive application. One of the great difficulties about learning English, the confusion there. It's a confused language, actually. I sometimes doubt the greatness of the English language, but there we go. And not the English language, the American language, because it's what American culture does to it that I think is not very admirable, but oh well. The yield can even mean the harvest. This is a good word, by the way. The yield that year of rice was huge. Harvest. The point is, VT, this is a good use. The land yielded a large amount of whatever the product or crop was. Yonder means over there. Dialect kind of word, kind of nice though. Over yonder, over there. A zealot is a person who is, another word, fanatic. The word has biblical New Testament background. The zealots were a group of Jewish fanatics who actually went around killing Roman soldiers, but then the punishments were terrible for the Jewish people. A zealot, a fanatic, especially in some religious matter.